What is a duty cycle on a welding machine? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go over the duty cycles on that Miller Pro 400 outside, this Millermatic 211, and I'm gonna show you another example. So whenever you're looking at a duty cycle, you know exactly what it means. Okay, so if you're buying a welding machine and it's gonna be plugged into your regular 110 outlet, how long can you have it on? So there's two things you gotta look at. You gotta look at how much amps does your machine run. Let's say a small machine, 110, can go up to 130 amps, right? 130 amps, you could easily put in a bead if you're practicing combination, and you could probably burn 1/8 of an inch rods. But how much time before the machine turns off? Just because you can turn it up to 130 amps doesn't mean that it's gonna stay on. It's probably gonna overheat and it's gonna turn off on you. That's where the duty cycle comes in. If you look at the machine and it says that it's 20% duty cycle at 110, that means that the machine will stay on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes out of 10 minutes. So 2 out of 10 minutes. If it says 30%, it's 3 minutes out of 10 minutes. You follow me? So if you crank it all the way up and you plug it in and you continuously burn one welding rod and you're up to that 2 minutes, it's 20%, and you're up to that 2 minute mark, boom, it's gonna shut off. And it's gonna need time for it to cool down, and then you can start again. This is a duty cycle for the Miller Pro 400. 300 amps, 350 amps for TIG, 400 for stick. You can run it continuously. Now, if you have a connection like this, because some machines work with both, right? Obviously, you're gonna be able to have it, running at a longer time. This little machine that I'm gonna be giving away, duty cycle was like 50%. So that means that it can stay on for 5 minutes. If you plug it in to 240 or 220, and you plug it in and you crank it all the way up, that you can burn welding rod, 130 amps burn for up to 5 minutes. So I mean, that's pretty good because you're not burning welding rod all the time. That means that the machine is on continuously, right? So let's say you put your bead in a little spot and then you stop, and then you go again, and then you stop, right? All that counts. So it'll give you time maybe to put a bead in, right? Maybe if you're filling out a big old pipe, downhill 12-inch, it might not be able to withstand all that heat because it's faster paced than when you're going uphill. So those are the things that you have to look at whenever you're looking at duty cycles. 211 duty cycle, check that out. Regular outlet, 20%, 115 amps. 40%, 150 amps, but with the bigger outlet. Now, if you find a welding machine, and if it's, 240 amps, it's got the big connection, you might be able to practice at home slowly. You're not going to be able to do everything right, but you might be able to put your bead in, maybe a hot pass, depending on the amps that the machine is rated to. For example, look at this welding machine with the big connection right there, 100% duty cycle, 90 amps, 60%, 116 amps. I hope this answers your question, and if you have any other questions, put it in the comments.